Hi, this is Family School video overview for parents for lesson 3, Genesis chapter 6 through 10. And we're covering Noah's Ark. So I wanted to just talk about a couple of the resources I mentioned in the hooks this week. One of them was just referring you to the Answers in Genesis website. On that website I gave you instructions on how to find this, but they have a couple neat articles and then pictures and videos that show what the ark probably looked like. That's very different than what you see in most, children's storybooks of Noah's Ark. The two videos talk about, the first one talks about just the construction of the ark and what the ark was like, taking the information that God gave Noah. It's neat. Just one little fact from the video is that the dimensions are very similar to the dimensions of what we use for cargo ships today. It's the really long, wide, short, so it navigates well on the ocean with a lot of cargo. And then the other video is about animal kinds, and it just talks about how there probably weren't zebras and horses. There was, more of an original type horse kind. There may not have been a lion and a tiger, but something more of like a cat kind on the ark, kind of helping us understand how Noah could have fit so many animals, all of the kinds on the ark. It's a really interesting video. So that's on the Answers in Genesis website, and how to get there is in the lesson plan that you got. The other resource that I really, really love is this book right here. It's called The True Story of Noah's Ark, and it has some super cool pictures. You can probably get this on the Answers in Genesis website, or maybe even on Amazon. My grandma gave this to me as an adult even. She loved this kind of stuff, but this is some of the pictures that you'll see in here. I think they're just amazing of what the ark might have looked like as Noah was constructing it. Let's see what else we've got here. Pictures of what it might have looked like inside the ark with the different, places for the animals. And I thought this was kind of neat. I just actually noticed this today. I don't know if you can tell. Where is that? Where'd it go? Is it over here? Oh yeah, look at right here. See, they've got kind of like what we do. A planter with a vine growing up a pole, growing grapes. It's just kind of interesting to think about how they would have fed themselves and all those animals on the ark. Let's see. This is kind of a cool picture because it gives you kind of an idea of the immensity of how big it was. Here's the people before the flood came, and there's Noah preaching and the ark up there on the ridge. Let's see. Another picture of the inside of the ark. It's really cool. It just kind of gives you an idea of what maybe the decks were like. And see, there's a giraffe, although I don't know if there really was a giraffe quite that big on the ark. Let's see, and dinosaurs. They might have had baby dinosaurs. But anyways. Let's see what else. Here's a picture of the floodgates opening, what that might have been like with the Lord opening up the floodgates and the water coming up from below the earth. Here's kind of an idea of what it might have looked like out there floating on the water. Just the design, giving you an idea of why it was able to float and stay upright in the storm. Although in that video on AIG, it's really cool because they talk about other design elements there might have been to help it be a little more comfortable for Noah while he was in his family out there and the animals. As far as how it would navigate in the waters. But let's see, there's another picture. Oh yeah, here it's another kind of idea of the ark floating on the water, and then talking about the window that the Lord told them to build up at the top, all along the top of the ark. So here's the very kind of top way up here, his family all on that very top deck looking out. That's maybe kind of what that would have been like. And last of all, this is so cool. This is kind of the ark to scale, in the back, you can see this right here is the, let me tell you exactly what it is. It's the Dallas Stadium in Texas, the football stadium, and you can see from here to here how much bigger the ark would have been, how much taller than the goalposts. And then down here, can you see, they kind of show how many railroad cargo trains you could have fit inside the ark to give you an idea of how big it is. So anyways, I thought that was pretty cool. I like that kind of stuff. So, okay, then to just kind of talk about a couple other of the hooks that were included. There's a couple options for you to be able to, an easier and maybe a more complicated one depending on the age of your kids, but origami ark patterns, just a fun way to spend time with your kids doing something together, and you can talk about, you know, this lesson while you're building together. In the next couple weeks, this week and then the lesson for next week, there's a couple activities that are kind of cool. They give you an opportunity to work on with your kids if it's something that you think they need to work on. And just using kind of Noah and then Abraham as an example of how they had to listen to God's instructions and follow his directions. So it's kind of a neat way to, you give the instruction as a parent, and then they have to either read carefully and follow those directions, or they have to listen carefully to what you say and follow those directions. Let's see what else. And then just kind of highlighting a couple things for the younger kids. There's an accounting activity and pairing activity, which are just, you know, fun ways to work on things. Counting, pairing, colors with the rainbow, whatever it is that you're doing, incorporating things that the Lord has given us in his word and bringing it to their level, and then having a chance to interact and teach your kids and have fun together, interacting together, while you're also talking about the Lord and his word. The last one, and the reason why I wanted to mention this one, it's What Animal Are You? It's silly. It's a totally goofy activity where you pretend to be different kinds of animals and do different kind of animal motions. And just my encouragement to you with that one is just to have fun with your kids, be silly with your kids, enjoy, laugh with your kids. It's, you know, it's just really special times with them. Very precious times, and they love it. So, okay, then talking about the book time, I just wanted to mention a couple things about the book, not in particular with these lessons, but just in general for younger kids. Something that they really enjoy and to help keep them engaged is having them repeat things, repeat names a few times, do it like with a rhythm, do it loud, do it quiet, just to kind of get those ideas and names in their head. Have them do motions, like if there's something that, you know, with the rain coming or the wind blowing, just anything to kind of get them physically interacting with the lesson is helpful because it's fun for them, and then it just helps keep them engaged and interested. For the older kids, to stop during the lesson, actually, you can take and ask questions. Take the AIM questions, and instead of asking them all at the end, break them up and ask them as you go through, just to kind of have it that to keep them engaged and to keep them interacting with the lesson with you. Also, just stopping and asking them questions about the content that aren't necessarily the AIM questions, but just asking them things about, you know, how do you think you would feel if this happened to you? Or what do you think you would have done in that situation? Or how do you think Noah might have felt? Or, you know, just things like that to get them interacting and to hear what they're thinking. It's a great opportunity for you to actually get to interact and hear what their thoughts are and how they're responding to the lesson. Okay, so then that's that for the book, and then I wanted to talk about, just show you the coloring pages really quickly. I remember when I was a kid, I loved drawing the rainbow. I drew it all the time, so here's for the littler kids. They can color the rainbow on that coloring page. There's this one that has some scripture on it. We didn't have a memory verse necessarily for this part of Genesis. If you want your kids to memorize one, there's this one here, Genesis 9:16, talking about Noah. And then there's this one also, you know, if you want your kids to have a chance to see something and color something that's a little bit more accurate. As far as the way the ark looked, there's this one. Okay, for little kids, this is kind of a fun activity, getting into the activity pages. This one you can, color the ark. There's a verse there about Noah, and then color the animals. And however you like, it's up to you. This is just one example. You can, put the animals on the ark like this. Of course, they weren't really on the outside of the ark, but any way that you like to do it. Your little kids might enjoy doing that with you, talking about what kind of animals there are. For older kids who like math, I thought this was a really fun activity, just because the Lord gives us in His Word. He told Noah the specific dimensions. He told us so much detail about how long it rained and how long it took for the rain to subside and all those things. So the Lord loves math. He invented it. He loves details. So if you have a child that loves those things, they're made in God's image, and just rejoice in those things with them. And there's an opportunity for them to do an activity that's not necessarily a creative one. It's more of an analytic one. So, and they just get to talk about different numbers that were in this section. And then if they want to, draw a picture of the ark to scale. And I think that was it. So hope you're enjoying your time together going through Genesis. Bye.